I want to bring to your attention this petition that was recently brought to my attention by the Mixed Lens. She produced this petition. She's a proud mulatto woman, and I really love her efforts and what she's doing with this petition. So let's check it out. The title, Include Mulatto as Racial Category on the 2030 U.S. Census, which marks basically the centennial from when the mulatto category was omitted from the census. We all know, not all of us, but a lot of us who are in the space, we understand. In the 1930 U.S. Census, they omitted the mulatto category. The prelude to that was in the 1924 Racial Integrity Act in Virginia, where they initiated the one-drop rule. So this is coming up on 100 years with this recent census, and we need to include the mulatto category so mulattoes are accurately represented in a representative republic. So checking out this petition, it has 9 signatures currently. Okay, we need to definitely get this up. Hopefully with my efforts, we can get more of you guys to be dedicated and to sign this. So the issue, this petition to include mulatto as its own racial category on the 2030 U.S. Census is aimed at providing a more accurate description and representation of white and black biracial peoples of the United States of America. Historically, mulatto peoples have often not been accepted as either fully white or black by their counterparts. Therefore, this amendment would warrant white and black biracial peoples to identify as their own race and no longer be limited to diminishing their identity to exclusively white, black, or ambiguously checking multiple boxes. Because when you check the other box or 2 or more races boxes, that is not specific. Even multiracial, it is not specific. But when we check mulatto, it is ultra specific. So we need to add emphasis on that. She puts, while it has been argued that the term mulatto can be perceived as offensive, on the contrary, it is the flagrant dismissal of mulatto people's autonomy to correctly identify that is of the utmost significance. If this amendment to the census is not made, we would be hindering the progress of how mulatto people are accounted for and their contributions to historical progress in America. This subsequently would diminish the U.S. Census validity by failing to accurately reflect a large portion of its valuable citizens, a growing demographic indeed. By reinstating mulatto to the census, we would not only recognize mulatto peoples as their own inherent race, but take a crucial step toward fully relinquishing the antiquated one-drop rule. Despite the one-drop rule being abolished in the 1967 Loving v. Virginia, it is still being perpetuated in America today by not allowing mulatto people the right to accurately self-identify. That's with many forms you have. Depending on the agency or the institution, they have an other box you can, or write in how you identify. You can check other and then, or please explain. And I always write, I specify, but mulatto. That's not offered everywhere, especially at the government level, but it is offered. So we can self-identify, but we need it federally across the board in every state. And they should adhere to that federal policy of that mulatto category. But as this lady is stating eloquently in her petition, that Loving v. Virginia outlawed the one-drop rule, but socially in other institutions, they still practice it. And we have to challenge them. That's our job. And mulattoes have to challenge this. So continuing on, mulatto people must be accounted for in the 2030 U.S. Census as their own race to facilitate a more universal understanding of their distinct identity and the role they play as integral citizens of the United States. As mulatto children continue to be born at an exceedingly increasing rate in the United States, it warrants the question, if not now, then when? The mulatto race option would be solely for those who have one majority white parent, one majority black parent, or 2 mulatto parents. That is a mulatto. A big shout out and respect to the Mixed Lens for developing and creating this petition. I really like what I'm seeing. Please guys, add your support. We need all hands on deck. Support this petition.